Hi, I'm Richard Ashworth. This is the fourth in the series of pieces about the Chinese celestial animals. This is the dragon. The dragon is the transformative beast, possibly the most powerful. The dragon who can wiggle their nose and change everything. If you find a dragon in your bazi, it's about magic. If you are a dragon, that is to say that you were born in the years 1940, 52, 64, 76, 88, 2000, we can say that you have these magical powers, however deeply hidden they might be, or however obvious, but also that your parent of the opposite gender has them. That's where the magic came from. You can also be a dragon by month, that is to say you were born in the month of April, usually starting April the 5th till May 5th, 6th or whatever. And if you were born between 7 and 9 a.m. you would be a dragon. The hour, you would have been born in the dragon hour. You could also be born on a dragon day, and you'll need a Chinese calendar to work that out. But they each have different nuances. Now, I'm teaching this stuff all the time by Zoom, online, by mutual arrangement, and I'm doing bazis for people all the time as well. There are different meanings to each of these. If you are born in the year of the dragon, if you were born in the year of the dragon, say 1964, 1952, 1952 is a water dragon, like Marianne Williamson, currently running for president in the US, this being 2023. If you're born in the year, it will relate to your family, it will relate to your deepest history, DNA patterns, family patterns. It relate to your physicality, all the obvious things. The year does a lot of heavy lifting, so it will define you in some ways, but not very intimate ways. The month will tell you more. That's more about deeper history. So someone born in the dragon month, then the dragon will relate to their education, to the family they grow up with, to their siblings, to exes, to the work environment, education environment, and so on. The day will be most particularly you. So someone with a dragon in the day, with no dragons otherwise visible, may be subtly very powerful, because it will tend to define who they are. Though in point of fact, the stem of the day, that is the element that moderates your animal, actually will tend to tell you very much who you are. So if you were born on a water dragon day, for instance, that water character, that yang water, which is often to do with articulacy and to do with emotional disclosure, may define you more closely. The hour and the day also will relate to your love life, relationships. Your true partner will tend to be represented by your day branch, day animal. And if you're born between 7 and 9 a.m, then you will be a dragon by virtue of the hour, and that will be to do with your dreams, your future, your children, things that you perhaps don't even talk about, your deepest thoughts you're only semi-conscious about. So, what is a dragon? Perhaps more important. The dragon is yang earth, the most egotistical of the branches, as well as perhaps the most powerful. Putting aside conventional rules of animal compatibility, many of us are either fascinated by the dragon or suspicious, or both. So if we take shameless mischief maker Vladimir Putin, obviously a very smart man, with a very, tremendously powerful, whatever else, tremendously powerful, perhaps in a way that's not entirely admirable, and that's often true of dragons. Boris Johnson, also a dragon, not a respecter of truth. One of the lessons dragons need to learn is that they need to do their homework, they need to check their facts. And dragons are, by nature, usually they should be teachers or healers. Teachers or healers. So Marianne Williamson, currently running for president, probably a good example. Teachers or healers. There is this archetype, the wounded healer. The person who brings their wounds to bear to heal other people. I'm not sure there is any other sort, to tell you the truth, but the dragon is very much that. And the dragon that thinks that they will solve their problems by introspection doesn't know their own nature. Introspection will tend to just lead you up your fundamental orifice. You're liable to just get lost and entangled. Come out, open up, see that the world is out there, because dragons can be very sulky, they can be very bipolar. And as Marianne Williamson said, and these words are often attributed to Nelson Mandela, but this is Marianne Williamson: our deepest fear is not that we are weak. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. And I think that's particularly true of dragons, and she, of course, is a water dragon. These are powerful people. Be aware, however, the dragon is not always issued with a moral compass. He or she may take a lifetime locating it. Indeed, they may have spent lifetimes already. We'll perhaps talk a little bit about that a little bit later. The dragon is just and charming and affable, as she feels like being at any given time. But, like the pig, the horse and the rooster, they suffer the self-clash, which makes them unsuited to working with their peers. So a school year of dragons may consist of very bright kids who don't really cooperate, who like to do it their way alone. They enjoy their own company and their own workspace. Sometimes they may claim to enjoy their own company even when they don't, by the way. And often what the dragon experiences as joy is a subtle experience that others find puzzling. So the horse likes to dance on tables, and may consider the dragon a high-maintenance prima donna. They certainly don't understand each other easily, because the horse kind of thinks the dragon doesn't know how to have fun. Dragon may not know how to have fun the horse's way, which is different. Even his ally, the dragon's ally, the monkey, who can be goonish, the monkey is the sign of the stand-up, delights with the impassive dragon, contrasts his own goonish delights with the impassive dragon, and can make no sense of it, and yet the dragon delivers. And sometimes, the dragon can be the child who does simultaneous equations without writing them down. They're sometimes awkward and gauche. That's one of the signs of a dragon. The dragon can appear incompetent and yet still win. So dragons are very often people you have to pay attention to see what they're actually up to. Steadfast dogs whose workings lead to a logical answer detest this about the dragon and may sabotage them. So you can see how a dog who would tend to go from A to C via B can be very confused by the dragon who can go from A to Z without touching the rest of the alphabet. Put simply, the dog thinks the dragon goes on a bit. Put simply, the dragon thinks the dog is a bit plodding. And if we know these things about each other, the purpose of this stuff is to learn things, not to fall into traps, not to invent chains for ourselves. But if we know this about each other, when we can get on. As a dragon, I get on often quite well with dogs. Some of my best female friends have been dogs, but we allow for the fact that, as I say, they think I go on a bit. I think they maybe don't catch on very quickly. The ox and the sheep share something of this attitude, but are more passive about it, so ox may think that as well. Sheep too. If you're a dragon, you better know this: you are likely to induce jealousy. Dragons, you're likely to induce jealousy. However gracious you are, they know. However much you try to hide it, they know. They know you have critical thoughts, and you're likely to be difficult to discipline. The Chinese ideogram for thunder is a dragon under a rain cloud, and all over the world rain clouds speak of plenty. Drenched is good if you're looking for growth. The dragon month is April, the time of sudden change and the time of showers, of course. Dragon times are the tense moment before a storm breaks. That thing where the pressure builds and it's so close, and then that's the dragon. Dragon does not naturally cooperate or share confidences. He will, however, work with those he considers his inferiors, which is pretty much everybody, as long as they are very clear about the pecking order. And bear in mind, the dragon in many cultures is said to be sitting on a bag of gold. In Chinese mythology, the dragon actually poops gold, so there's a basket underneath him. So metaphorically, that means that the dragon will tend to magic will tend to happen around them, if you like. So this egotism, if you like, is in a lack of keenness on dealing with those he considers to be his inferiors. You can think of examples like King Lear, for instance, made a lot of stupid mistakes for that reason. Cersei in Game of Thrones, do you know that one? Othello and Jaime Lannister, again Game of Thrones. Othello would have been a tiger and Hamlet probably a snake. But you might like to give that some thought. Haven't got to snake yet. The The dragon's traditional partners are the hands-on monkey and the plotting rat, although these three may not mix socially. They need a task to cooperate on, otherwise they find it hard to connect. And the dragon is like that. Socially, the dragon will often seek out the rooster and the horse, both of whom can act as PR or spokesperson. Alone or teamed up, the dragon is just as creative as he wants to be. She can magic up wealth and as rapidly squander it. She doesn't really care about that. Neither horse nor rooster are much help to them in this regard, although a benevolent rat and a diligent monkey can be. Rooster will tend to lead them off up the garden path. Dragon and snake form the house of magic. Dragon is the sorcerer, the snake his apprentice. You remember in the movie where Mickey Mouse is the apprentice and the sorcerer goes off to do important business, whatever it is, and Mickey Mouse tries to use his limited understanding of the sorcerer's spells, and everything goes pear-shaped. So the dragon is the sorcerer, the snake is his apprentice. The dragon will find students in a snake year, and the snake will find a teacher in a dragon year. Merlin was a dragon, and his story illustrates the other central weakness of the dragon, that he can be beguiled by the glamour typical of the rooster. So that the dragon is thought of as being intense and withdrawn and bookish and, you know, not very sociable, but he gets excited by roosters. This coupling can take the dragon off track. In a rooster year, the dragon may forget carefully laid plans and go off-piste, tempted typically by wealth or sex. In a pig year, they may have to rethink their approach to life, ready for the boom times of the rat year that follows. In an ox year, there are breakups. So the relationship between the dragon and the ox technically is what's called a breakup, which can be literal. So dragon in ox year, breakups. Ox in dragon year, perhaps too. Note to employers, this is important, a dragon employee is the best there is if you give them exactly the job they want to do, because you'd better do that because you're going to do exactly what it feels like regardless. That's the way dragons are. Final note, as I said, dragons can go either way. They are what's called fugong, which can go either way. And some of the worst dragons, some of the worst people are dragons. Take Jeffrey Epstein, the late Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein, also Philip Green of vast yachts fame. Who'd have thought these three shared Barzee charts? Very similar Barzees, but they're guys who could justify the unjustifiable. And as these guys show, perhaps the dragon has the luck of the devil. So dragons, powerful, creative, volatile. Okay.